of Earth Sciences, Goa. His research area encompasses various aspects of biological oceanography, primary productivity, biogeochemistry, and biooptics of polar oceans. He has obtained his DSc from Environmental Sciences from Nagoya University, Japan in 2011 and PhD in Marine Science from Behrampur University, but work carried out at National Institute of Oceanography in 2005. He did his master in marine biology from same university in 1998. He has many awards and achievements to his credit. Few of them are: he is national representative for Clavier SCAR Southern Ocean Regional Panels (SORP) and SCAR SSC Life Sciences. He is working group leadership of Southern Ocean Indian sector. He has participated in 4 Indian Southern Ocean expeditions, 2 as a chief scientist, and 4 Indian Arctic expedition, 3 as a team leader. He was a recipient of INSA Fellowship to participate the 12th SCAR Biology Symposium in Belgium during 2017. He has also received Nagoya University Fellowship to participate in PCES conference in USA during 2009. His poster was selected as outstanding poster in PostSec held in Zhongzhou, China during 2008. He received Japanese government Mombo Kakasho Fellowship for his higher studies in Japan during 2005 to 2011 and CSIR Senior Research Fellowship in 2003. He has published more than 52 research publications in peer-reviewed oceanography journals and served as a reviewer for various national and international journals. With this introduction, I am requesting Dr. Tripathy to deliver his talk titled Southern Ocean Carbon and Climate. Over to you, Dr. Tripathy.
Thank you. Good morning to one and all. At the outset, I would like to thank Director Dr. M. Ravichandran for his support and encouragement. I thank Aquaphilae and Marine Ecology Laboratory of President's University for conducting this webinar. And also I thank Dr. Sumit Mandal, the organizer of this webinar, for inviting me for this talk. Give me a moment to upload my slides. Well, before I start, I'd just like to emphasize here that this talk is basically targeted at the students who are in the university level and also for the general audiences. But I hope the scientific fraternity also appreciate the content presented here. So its significance, its role in climate change, then Indian research activities in Southern Ocean. So basically this talk would highlight about the significance of Southern Ocean carbon sequestration, like how the carbon fixation takes place here, and global climate change. It would also highlight the Indian research activities in this remote ocean. So before I start, I would like to just give a glimpse of the institute where I work. It is called National Center for Polar and Ocean Research. Previously, it was called as National Antarctic and Ocean Research. Now it has been changed to NCPOR. Initial days, this NCAOR was basically focusing on Antarctic and Southern Ocean research. Subsequently, we started our research activities in Arctic as well as Himalayas. So aptly, we have changed the institute's name recently to NCPOR. So NCPOR is a autonomous organization under Ministry of Earth Sciences, Government of India. So we get all the fundings from MOEs and we plan our activity in the polar regions. So coming to the oceans, so there is no an iota of doubt that oceans are very important to us and it plays a great role in our life. That's why we celebrate World Ocean Day on 8th of June. So what it does, it has multifaceted benefits, or it has multifaceted roles, we can say. First of all, it gives us the oxygen we breathe. It contains the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. It regulates the global climate. It helps in transportation, recreation, economy, food, medicine, etc. So if we think the first and foremost point that the air we breathe is coming from the ocean, many of us would not believe, or probably may not be knowing, that the oceans contribute 50% of the oxygen we are utilizing. So that means the terrestrial plants and the oceans are playing same role in contributing towards the global oxygen concentrations. So let's see how it is being done. What makes the ocean contribute oxygen, what we are breathing every day. So there are trillions of microscopic plants in the oceans known as phytoplankton. So as we see trees on the terrestrial environment, we can see trillions of microscopic plants, but since they are not visible, we don't realize them as such. But if you take a palm full of water, you will find thousands of organisms which are doing the same role what plants are doing on the land. So how they do look like? So they are very well organized and having beautiful shapes. You would really love to watch them under microscope, and they have a different and very specific roles to perform. But over and all, they produce oxygen and they fix the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. So what is the power of phytoplankton? How do this? So we know in our schooling days that the plants use water, nutrient, and carbon dioxide and produce glucose. Similarly, the phytoplanktons, which are present in the marine environment, also uses the water and the nutrient and the atmospheric carbon dioxide to produce glucose and release oxygen. So that means it prepares food for all the organisms which are present in the marine environment and also releases oxygen to the atmosphere. So that means we can say that every alternative breath we are taking is coming from the oceans, and that signifies its importance. Being said that, the phytoplankton produces glucose, which is the basic food for all the marine organisms. So hence they form the base of the marine food web. So any environmental factors which affect the variation in primary producers or these phytoplanktons can have cascading effects on the subsequent biota which are relying on these tiny plants. So not only they form the base of the marine food web, they also play a significant role by performing the biological pump. So what is a biological pump? It is nothing but the carbon fixation process by the phytoplankton and its subsequent transfer to the deep ocean upon their dying and decay. So what happens when the carbon is fixed by phytoplankton? Subsequently, they die and they sink into the ocean bottom, and with them they carry all the organic carbon into the ocean bottom, which takes a long time to come up again. And in this process, the phytoplankton controls the atmospheric carbon dioxide and checks the global climate temperature. So from this figure, we can see that without phytoplankton, the Earth's temperature will really increase and making it very uncomfortable for us to live in. This figure shows that most of the temperature, like the higher temperature we can see in the tropics, and once we go towards north or south, we can see the temperature is decreasing. So there are two things, like the solar radiation is also decreasing towards the poles, and that also contributes to control the temperature. However, this polar oceans does a great role in controlling the climate temperature by fixing the carbon dioxide. So that we'll discuss in detail now. So this I gave a general notion about the oceans as such. So now we'll go into the Southern Ocean. So what is Southern Ocean? Maybe most of us may not be knowing it, even though we have studied in geography in our school days. The Southern Ocean is the ocean encircling the Antarctic continent. So it's an inseparable part of Antarctic ecosystem. So whenever we discuss about Antarctica, we also discuss about Southern Ocean and vice versa. So even though there is a no certain clear boundary about where Southern Ocean starts, but most of the researchers consider that the ocean south of 40 degrees south is considered as Southern Ocean. So it is one of the coldest and the roughest and the remote ocean in the world ocean. So Southern Ocean is a among all the five oceans is the youngest ocean which is formed 30 billion years ago and covers only 6% of the Earth's surface. So now I just like to show this cartoon which shows about the continental drift. We might think that how the Southern Ocean was the Southern Ocean formed before or is it formed recently. So as we know, around 250 million years ago, all the land masses were joined and called as Pangaea, and it was encircled by a single ocean called as Panthalassa. These two words are Greek words and means supercontinent and super oceans respectively. So we can see that the previously the oceans were not separated. However, with due course of time, the geological time scale, the continental drift was responsible for creating oceans and as well as continents as we see now. So this theory was initially given by a scientist called Abraham Ortelius in 1596. However, Alfred Wegener fully developed this theory in 1912 and which is known as continental drift theory. So you can see this is the faster version of what I shown previously that 200 million years ago all the continents were joined together and gradually there was a plate tectonics or continental drift and there is a separation of land masses as well as oceans were formed. So now the question is, are these oceans connected? Unlike the continents which are separated and we need lots of like formalities to enter into one or from one continent to another continent or even one country to another country. So unlike that, the oceans are connected and how and what connects them. So there are ocean currents which are called as Great Ocean Conveyor Belt or global thermohaline circulation. Thermohaline means temperature and haline means the salinity. So because of salinity and the temperature differences, the circulation happens in the ocean and that connects the all five oceans together. So I just like to point out here, it takes nearly 1000 years once the carbon dioxide goes beyond 1000-meter depth in the ocean. So that means we can say that, or we can really understand the importance of ocean, that if the carbon dioxide what is present in the atmosphere, it goes beyond 1000 meters, it takes 1000 years to comes up again. So this picture again portrays how the ocean currents travel in the earth. So the red are warmer and lighter currents or surface currents and the blue line are the deep currents which are flowing in the underwater. So being said that, so now the question is, can we access Southern Ocean? Since it is connected, can we access Southern Ocean throughout the year? So from this picture, you can see that the water mass surrounding Antarctica, which is called as Southern Ocean, is frozen during most of the part of the time. So we have a very narrow window of November to February where the Southern Ocean is ice-free or we have very less ice content. So that's called austral summer and this is the time where most of the researchers venture into the Southern Ocean to carry out the research as per their plan. So I'd like to emphasize here that when you move towards polar area, you can see there is a clear differentiation between sea surface temperature